Welcome back to the Shady Harbor with me, Little Fox. Ah! I was having like a amazing conversation with like someone who didn't have to reach out to me but did anyway, which was fantastic. It was I didn't come across defending land back that well in that during the debate over Israel. And so yeah, had a conversation with Lady Rain over that, and so I need to do a bit more research into land back to get a better perspective and better, I guess, pushback against stupid arguments. Not even pushback, just like being able to ignore the stupid dog whistles, or dismiss the dog whistles and talk about what land back actually is and focus on that. And the best way to do that is to learn more about the movement and some of the specific things that they have. I think that's part of what I've gotten out of that. But like, you know, learning more about these things is going to benefit everyone anyway. Cool. Yeah. I really enjoyed that conversation though. That was so cool. I was so nervous though. It always blows my mind when I meet someone who has had a lot of hate thrown at them over the internet, and they're just people. Not the fact that the more the thing is like the people choose to hate, I guess, is the part that I just struggle to wrap my brain around. Because why? I don't know. I do not think that I am describing myself that well, but I am. I am dumb and I learn through trial and error, so apologies in advance for the apologies I'll have to give in the future. We are just doing the daily bits and pieces right now. Pardon me.
What do you want?
Hear ye, card sharps and collectors. Test your wits and courage in a brand new card game, Tales of Tribute.
Do you know how long I've been working for you?
I definitely want to get better at speaking up for people going through hardships that I couldn't even like imagine going through, because I do think that I have a responsibility to do that. I have a responsibility to do that as someone who wants to be able to, I don't know, talk about these issues, you know? If I was just some random person on the street, maybe I wouldn't expect so much of myself. This is something that I believe in, and I believe in speaking out about, so. Diamond and manganese, nice. Anything else? No, nothing else. Alright. We've got those done.
Messengers from the Lion Guard have brought word that they have begun a quarantine of the city of Camlorn. They assure the king that the plague there shall not spread.
Where is... Ah, landing.
My horses are...
They sure are. Also, I have no money. I can't afford the speed increase. Because I don't have enough dwarven ingots, because my main character isn't high enough level to like pick them up.
Hear ye, card sharps and collectors. Test your wits and courage in a brand new card game, Tales of Tribute.
Also, note detection, I think, is still causing crashes, so... Hooray. Oh, I want one. Little fox. Little white fox. Oh.
Welcome to the Bank of Daggerfall.
Oh, yes. Oh, Haza, how are you today? Hi, yeah. Ooh. That was the thing, wasn't it? Delete mail? No. Why do you want to delete the mail? Press the button and move out. Roll out. Dear leftist create. Oh. My kids aren't yours. Well, I mean, like, if you're going to abuse your kids, then they shouldn't be. Fuck you.
The nation's largest teachers union this week declared
Holy
that
shit.
they know better
Hold
than
on.
parents what
Hold on a sec. Wow. Okay, this lady is like a lot. Out the gate, this lady is a lot.
the nation's largest teachers union this week declared that they know better than parents what children need to thrive.
This doesn't seem to be a controversial statement to me. I'm sure she'll like back this up with facts and logic.
That's right, the same idiots who kept classrooms closed and destroyed kids' academic careers and tanked the entire country's report card and triggered a mental health crisis among kids and teens. Yeah, now they say that they are the experts in helping kids thrive.
Teachers didn't choose that. That was the government. What? Wait, you're conflating so many things. You've got teachers unions and which like advocate for like better pay and better conditions for teachers. You've got teachers advocacy groups which advocate for better standards of teaching, and they're currently advocating for better standards of teaching as we understand them from like the current scientific consensus. What are you talking about? Is this the this is the they them army again, isn't it? They is everything that this lady doesn't like, and she is mad and she wants to tell you about it.
And that they know what your kid needs better than you do.
They went to university for 4 years. I think they know more about teaching than you.
Because somewhere along the line, teachers' unions and administrators with 7 useless degrees and government bureaucrats who've never even stepped foot in a classroom decided that our kids belong to them.
Is this someone's attempt at, like, comedy, maybe?
Not because they give one rip about children, but because they see our kids as a blank slate.
As a right version of Samantha Bee? Who's Samantha Bee?
On which to write their left-wing agenda. The left has decided.
I would say that she looks like a discounted, shitty right-wing version of what's her name from TYT? I can't remember her name. I'm sorry.
To plant themselves firmly between children and their families. And they're actually so arrogant as to think they can pull it off. To which I have just one word for them. Florida.
What? The same Florida that tried to make it so that people couldn't immigrate to them and then basically made it easier for people to immigrate to them? The same Florida which literally is the Florida man joke. The same Florida that wants to legalize the torture of children in like healthcare and in schooling. Is this the Florida that we're talking about? The same Florida that's going to be underwater due to like conservative policies in the next 20, 30 years? This is the Florida we're talking about? Okay.
The National Education Association Teachers Union declared this week that public school educators, not parents, are the ones who know best for your kids. They're not.
But they do. These degrees that you just called useless are the degrees that they got to learn about how best to teach kids, and I'm dead somehow already? Why? How did I die? The fuck? Okay. I just died. Okay, I was dead. I was dead. What else?
Trying to hide it anymore. This is what they actually believe. Educators love their students and know better than anyone what they need to learn and to thrive.
Is this whole thing her getting angry at a Twitter post? Oh no, Sprout Social. I don't know what Sprout Social is, sorry. No wait, is that Twitter? I don't even know anymore. There's so many different like Twitter startups, like copycat companies now. I don't even know what's what. Let's just say it's Arthropod. That's what they call it, naming them after like old shit, right? Arthropod. But this doesn't seem, forgive me, this doesn't seem to be a controversial statement. Can someone explain?
This is a joke, right? If educators alone knew what was best for children and how to help them thrive, we wouldn't be trying to figure out how to deal with massive drops in math and reading proficiencies all across all 50 states.
Okay, so what were the cause of those?
Largely because these same educators pushed to keep classrooms closed for upwards of 2 years. If educators knew what was best for children, our youth wouldn't be...
Educators don't want to close schools. They want to, like, have remote learning. Which... What? None of this makes sense. What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh my gosh.
Facing a mental health crisis, and teenagers wouldn't be suffering from crippling anxiety and depression because Randy Weingarten prioritized...
You're blaming citation needed, honestly. Like, you need to be able to back that shit up. You're claiming that teachers are the cause of these issues, right? Well, fucking prove it then, bitch. Try me, bitch.
Paranoid adults over kindergartners. If educators knew what was best for our children, they would be more worried about the fact that kids can't read than about whether their classrooms have been properly decorated for Pride Month or whether there are enough pornographic books in the school library. If educators cared the most about kids.
What the fuck? This is a crazy woman, I guess. Like, nobody cares about this stuff but you. Like, there are no pornographic books in classrooms. There's no, like... Yeah, she's definitely got like, you know what I mean by the lady from the Young Turks, right? She's got the same energy, but like none of the like intelligence. It's quite astounding.
They would be spending their time figuring out why only a quarter of 12th graders are proficient in math instead of inviting adult men in spandex leotards.
So are you going to like tell us why these things are the case, or are you just going to put the blame at the feet of people rather than like figure out this shit?
To teach confused little boys how to put on fake eyelashes. But the notion that we should all be forced to sacrifice our children to this country's imploding public education cult has become a cornerstone of left-wing political agendas. Eric Swalwell tweeted just last week that putting parents in charge of their...
Oh my gosh, like this is just confirmation bias. Like, you should be asking yourself why, like, the best scientific understandings on how to educate kids happen to be left-wing. You should be asking yourself that rather than, like, putting the cart before the horse.
Their kids' education is like putting patients in charge of their own surgeries. Kamala Harris has long...
What? What? Yeah, when did we stop? Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. When did we stop trusting us experts? This is so stupid. Yeah, when the experts didn't say the things that you liked. That's when.
is like putting patients in charge of their own surgeries. Kamala Harris has long claimed that my kids and your kids aren't actually my kids and your kids. They're children of our community.
But I mean,
Yeah.
truly,
Yeah, of the community, and the experts within the community should have a say on how to treat those kids because they will know best. They've studied. They are experts in their field, and we come to a consensus on how to treat people. We don't give people the right to just teach their kids whatever, because like then we would just have anarchy. Ooh, anarchy.
when when you see our kids, and I truly believe that they are our children, they are the children of our country, of our communities.
Let me explain something to Kamala Harris, who, last I checked, isn't a mother to anything except maybe incoherence and lies. Did you spend 9 months growing my children inside you? Watching everything you ate, trying to get it?
No, she spent like however long like campaigning and getting to that position and getting people to believe in her and the words that she says. And also graduated from Harvard University and the University of California Hastings College of Law. Graduate student in nutrition and endocrinology. PhD in 19. Wait, sorry, no, that's her parents. Okay, she did law. She served as president of his chapter of the Black Law Students Association. She graduated with Juris Doctor, is a graduate entry professional degree in law, and one of several Doctor of Law degrees. So yeah, she spent however many years getting educated. But no, you just fucking stared at the ceiling for 5 seconds and then waited 9 months. Cool. Good stuff.
Enough rest, going to checkups every few weeks, sitting there on pins and needles, just waiting for them to find that tiny little heartbeat. No? Because I did. I labored for hours to bring them into this world, and I'll carry scars from it for the rest of my life.
And you still have no idea how to raise them. Isn't that sad?
My husband and I were the ones up all night those first few months, covered in sour milk, trying to focus through bleary-eyed eyes, stumbling around like zombies, all for this tiny human who was worth every hazy second of it. When my children wake up at 2 a.m. from a nightmare, do they call out for you? No, they want me.
And all of this is irrelevant. We're talking about how to raise kids, not like how much how much of a fucking what's the word for it? What's the word for is it a savior complex? No, I'm still thinking about the conversation from earlier. This is a persecution complex, maybe. I don't know. Whatever it is, you're just talking about shit that you did, and like I think that's amazing that you cared for your kids as much as you did, but it's a shame that you still don't know anything about how to raise them. You would think that 9 months would be enough time to do some study, but I guess whatevs. You be conservative.
I'm the one who helped them learn to climb stairs and pedal their bike. I'm the one who jumped in front of a train to save their lives without blinking. A good school is valuable and an important piece of a child's life, but when my kids scrape their knees or are afraid of the monster under their bed, they don't...
They go straight to the nurse's office when they scrape their knees. That's what I used to do. Because I didn't really scrape my knees at home, or like, you know, they scrape their knees, they're just gonna like put a band-aid on it, right? I don't know. Do your kids like? Do you like need to like do everything for your kid or something? How are they going to learn how to like live in the outside world if you like protect them from like knowledge, which is what you're doing. You're turning them into like anti-science nut jobs.
Call out for their teacher. They want mom and dad because they know that there is no one on this planet who loves them like we do. No one. And I'm not pointing that out because I truly think the idiots who say this mess act.
Yeah, but the people that love kids the most tend to be the ones that abuse them the most, but judging by the statistics. Just saying.
Actually believe they love our kids more than us. They don't, and they know it. But they do think we're going to roll over and take this. They do think that they are going to take control of our children. They think they're going to win.
They studied 4 years, sometimes more than that, to learn how to teach kids. What did you do to learn how to teach kids? Trial and error? Yeah, okay, cool. That doesn't work as well as like listening to experts in their fields. Like, I learn through trial and error, but I need to listen to people who know more about things than I do in order to become a better person. If I just rejected what people who know more about certain issues, if I just ignored people like that, then I would just be, I don't know, Vorsh. Is that what I need to start doing, I guess, to become hype?
Just like there's no one who will love a child like a parent, there is no one who will defend their child like a parent. So if that's really the
citation needed on that one. And there is no one more likely to abuse their kid than a parent.
fight you want to pick, get ready. And that's your Reality Check America. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube and Rumble pages, like us on Facebook and Twitter, and keep videos like this one coming by visiting mrc.org/donate to join our...
I do love how they call themselves like a reality check. It's like completely and utterly like cope. The cope is just palpable with these people. They're just like, they even call themselves like, it's like when you have a label on a jar that says authentic satay. Like the word authentic on something, you can see that it's cope and it's just a marketing mechanism. Like she's trying to market to scared parents. And what a fucking ghoul. Hmm? You okay?
Yes.
You looking, do you need tape?
No.
Okay.
I have plenty here.
But yes. Yeah, that was your reality check for today. Watching a woman complain about how, like, teachers don't love their kids as much as they do. And I'm just like, well, cool. Like, you love your kids so much. Why don't you, like, allow them to get a decent education? Oh, that's right, because you're a fucking idiot. But yeah. Right. Yeah, defer to the experts, people, and, like, learn and ask questions. Oh, I killed them all. Yes. Where is the book? There's supposed to be a book around here, sorry. Is it in here? The fuck? Where is this book? What is it? Is it like a part of the quest or something? Where am I? Where even am I? Oh, there I am. Right in the middle. So, military orders and reports. Military orders and reports. And it is supposed to be right here. But does not appear to be. Maybe it'll show up later. Maybe it's part of the quest or some shit. It's just irritating though. Pikachu? It's like the bad Pikachu. Got him. So how's everyone's day today? Got him. That's a good one.
Make sure these orders circulate among the troops. They need to be prepared for what's to come.
Oh, it's a boss. Well, I didn't even realize it was a boss. That's how OP I am right now. Like boss. Oh yeah. Can't complain. I can always find something to complain about. My feet are cold. There. I did one. Now it's your turn. What can you complain? Tell me something that you don't like.
Your face.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's true of everyone. Hey, splat. Got him. Oh yeah. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, I set him on fire. Holy shit. Loading. Alright, now we go back here. Digging a hole? Not anymore, you're not. You're fighting with me.
Move now.
Ah. Oh, hey, buddy. What's up? Well, that guy died. That is one of the coolest looking skeletons I've ever seen, though. Check that out. That guy died horrifically. Alright, how long until I level up? Ooh, I'm pretty close. Oh shit, I hate the first person view. Damn it. View. There we go. Oh yes, I'm getting so good at this. Fighters Guild increased to level 4. Fuck yes! A Wraith Shackle? What was that? Wraith Shackle. Oh, it's a monster trophy! I got a monster trophy! Ooh, ooh! Fuck yeah! Oh, that's so cool! I need to get more of those. How do I know, like... Oh, look at this achievement. Thing. So that's an achievement thing. Journal? Achievements. Character, trophies. Undead Hoarder. I think this is it. Yeah, I got the Wraith Shackle. What have I got here? Nothing. Billion Shard Gatherer. Ooh, I got the Daedric Dewclaw. Where do you get that from? Nothing from nature. Nothing from there, nothing from there. And nothing else. Dang it. Shout out to your guy. Which guy? My guy? Shout out. I like this one. This is a good one. Fucking yeah, boy. I love it. Instant replay. That was a good fucking dodge. That was a fucking good dodge. You have to give that. He knows how to dodge. Did he actually go to war? Yay. But yeah, I got the trophy. That's so cool. And I got fish. Junk. Mark for selling. Junk. Ooh, another treasure map. I'm getting all the cool stuff. Alright, continue the mission.
It's true. Falchu is tall as a tree, with claws like great swords.
Yes, yes, and he breathed fire and ate warriors, armor and all. I've heard it all before.
That's awesome. An Iraqi town has unveiled a giant monument of a shoe in honor of the journalist who threw his footwear at former US President George W. Bush. Beautiful. I disavow. I disavow. Violence? What? Not what? Violence? No. Violence is bad. Don't do violence, people.
Bagaroon here. Of course. Now we may finally learn how Falchu was defeated.
Can you stop calling it Falchu because that
Find
just...
out how tall the Horker really was.
Good riddance to those mad cultists and their bad man tree.
Oh yeah, I killed those things. I'm also almost out of experience scrolls.
Listen to me. You must listen.
Giuliano's little teapot. A fragment. Someone bring.
They were supposed to cast a simple divination. Examine.
Examine the time ripples. Oh gosh.
You seek to see into the past. I can guide you.
Which slip up? Hey, who keeps on attacking? Ah, you do. What's this about? A slip up? Oh yeah. Bloody hell, that was fucking hilarious.
In
Oh,
contrast, Russian elections are rigged. Political opponents are imprisoned or otherwise eliminated from participating in the electoral process. The result is an absence
sorry, it is quiet. I will fix as soon as I'm not in danger of like dying.
to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq. I mean, of Ukraine. Iraq. Anyway,
Here we go.
Trump's secret documents versus Hillary's email.
Go away.
In contrast, Russian elections are rigged. Political opponents are imprisoned or otherwise eliminated from participating in the electoral process. The result is an absence of checks and balances in Russia and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq. I mean, of Ukraine.
Whoops!
Iraq.
Whoopsies!
75.
It's kind of weird that he's calling it Iraq now, not Iraq. Iraq! Hell yeah, bro! Going to Iraq! Got him. Now, what's the other thing I've seen? Mistakenly condemns invasion of Iraq. Oh yeah, that was the same one, yeah. Amazing. Damn it, I keep having to switch. I'm having to do real streamer mode. Oh yeah. Fucked him up. Get some nightshade. But look, I'm hoping that the node detection add-on isn't gonna like crash the game again for me. Oh, that was a good one. 6334. Oh, this guy with the water skin again. Water skin again. Thank you, buddy. Does not look comfortable there on the ground, though.
Go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
Ah, to the crypt. Got him.
I remember this. I'm here. You won't just... Oh, this armor brings back such memory. It was a... Would you... It was a violent...
Okay, I need to go back in time. Oh, I've turned into a man! Fuck no!
I was starting to worry about you.
This is a horror game now. We're in a horror game now.
My love. The Alessian... Do what you have to do and find those orders. Then find me.
Oh, that's what I'm supposed to look at. Hey, you alright, man? Okay, good. Ah, that was what I was supposed to pick up. Good stuff. Parmian.
There you are, my knight. Did you recover the orders?
So, okay. Who the fuck is Mr. Girl?
Excellent. Yes, he surprised us all.
And who is Taftaj? Taftaj. Trans girl debates Mr. Girl. Wait, what was the video that we watched? Hi.
Fully locked me out, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry, boo.
Thanks for that.
Sorry.
Right.
Trans girl, my penis is gone. Debating Voosh. I don't know what this is, but it's hot. Okay. The trans center right versus a piece of shit.
Being trans is the intense, recurring, obsessive fantasy of transforming into the opposite sex. It's only meant.
No, that's literally not true. Okay, so we can say for sure this guy is a piece of shit. So he's a transphobic piece of shit. Okay, well, I can finally after like not knowing enough about Mr. Girl. I don't know why he calls himself that. Like, he's transphobe. Okay. After watching that thing, that stupid spat between whatever that guy's name is and Poppy the other day, Mr. Girl is a transphobe. Cool. Good stuff. I am aware that people call him a pedophile.
Mental illness where the solution is to fulfill the fantasy. I'm being tortured by thoughts about how I'm presenting. I'm being tortured by thoughts that I'm not killing people. I'm being tortured by thoughts that I'm not raping people. This is why I'm saying trans people can't be trusted. They just want to believe shit. They want the confrontation. They want to scream, it's me.
Tell me you don't know anything about being transgender without telling me you don't know anything about being transgender.
I am in the growliest, deepest voice that they possibly can. Cutting your dick off is my definition of unreasonable. I'm gonna ask you the question I asked Dario.
Trans men don't cut their dicks off, they do the opposite. What? He was turned on to some degree by those girls dancing in that movie. Wow, okay. That's fucking gross.
You think it should be legal for a surgeon to remove your eyes because it makes you horny?
What?
Trans people are...
So like I don't really need to go into this, but autogynephilia is just what he's talking about is a oh, this is a fucking aliens. I fucking hate aliens. Sorry.
Use the direct. These old aliens, perhaps.
But yeah, yeah, autogynephilia is not a real thing. It has nothing to do, like, the idea that people get turned on by themselves has nothing to do with being transgender. So yeah, lol.
Compulsively obsessed with turning into the opposite sex. Hormones and surgery are self-harming. I don't think cross-dressing or changing your name or the way you act or the way you talk or makeup, I don't think those are self-harming. There's a pretty strong divide between acting like, living as, talking as, thinking as a woman or man versus actually changing your body.
Yeah, it seems like you have a lot against changing your body.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm against it.
Why
I
is
think
that?
I think it's self-harm.
What makes it self-harm?
So if you get bottom surgery, the only way that's allowed is if we're defining your penis as no longer part of your body. It's not supposed to be there. And if it's not supposed to be there, then it should be removed. It's like a growth. But I don't think that's true. So when I see people with these flags and these...
That's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. Like, people don't cut their dicks off. That's not even how the surgery works. They're just changing the shape of it. What are you talking about, dude? You do not understand what you're talking about from the get-go.
celebrations and congratulations and all this shit. I see people with missing ears and eyes and cutting their tongues out and pulling their teeth out and cutting off their noses. I don't see the same thing as everybody.
Well, so there are people there who do have intense body dysmorphia around having certain body parts being attached. And in some cases, they do remove them either through surgery or by themselves. And did you know that we actually already know? We actually already know the result of that, and it's usually they're fine. With people like that, even with people who like would remove, I don't know, an eye or something like that, or a finger, they don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. Like they usually just go on with their lives, and there isn't any like further harm than that. It's a ridiculous notion to conflate the two ideas even, but even if you're going to do that, like, learn about what you're talking about, because you just don't know what you're talking about.
Else, I see self-mutilation, and it's congratulated and encouraged.
So he's talking, but you're calling any form of plastic surgery like self-mutilation. That's your personal opinion, dude. If you're going to be calling things that, then you need to actually back it up with some actual fucking expert consensus. Otherwise, it's just your opinion, bro.
Encouraged, especially in kids, and yeah, that's why.
Do you think that it is ever reasonable to damage healthy tissue for a non-medically necessary purpose?
I think cutting your dick off is my definition of unreasonable.
But you would also draw the line
can't.
earlier than that, because it's not just cutting your dick off that you have an issue with, it's also hormones.
Yeah.
I think we both agree that there are some instances where we're actually, by hurting ourselves a little bit, we're optimizing for something greater. So, like, you look very skeptical, but there's a very...
I don't think I will agree with this.
You must...
The man doesn't even shave or brush his hair. Do you really think that he does anything to, like, modify his body?
Because, like, when you damage your muscles, you know, through continued strenuous use...
Yeah, but that's not
self-harm,
really
right?
It's only damage defined on like a cellular level, but that's not the same.
No, that's not on a cellular level. That's like, you don't even know how muscles work.
Minor damages, right?
Yeah, they're not comparable. I mean, you made the
Why not?
comparison,
I mean,
so
I
they
think
are.
HRT is like very similar, or it's like very minor changes, and
No,
you know, I don't know.
Wait,
It's not even
the smallness of the. First of all, they're not
you
minor
said
changes.
cellular level, clearly. So you do agree that like smallness plays a factor.
No, I said cellular level. Okay, I said cellular level because you're using the word damage. And while technically, yes, that is how muscles grow, that's not what I mean when I say the word damage. It's really a homophone that you're using when you use the word damage in both situations. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay. When you say damage, what do you mean?
Breaking things and making them not work anymore. Irreversible, one-way street damage.
Oh, well then that's great. Then, because that's not what we're talking about when it comes to transgender people. This guy has absolutely no fucking clue. He's just spouting transphobic nonsense, and like as if he knows what he's talking about, which he quite obviously doesn't. It's fucking dumb. Wait a second, why do I have a buff here? I have a weird buff. Oh, okay, it's definitely into the past. What else?
Okay. So for example, infertility would be like an irreversible one-way street damage, right?
Yes.
And so I would say it is okay if someone wants to be infertile. I think that's a choice that they can make for themselves.
I'm going to ask you the
that-
question. I'm going to ask you the question I asked Dario. Do you think it should be legal for a surgeon to remove your eyes because it makes you horny?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
And
okay, so
should I tell you why?
no.
Okay.
I mean, I think most. Well, I think most.
So, like, first he's annoyed that the two things that she's compared aren't comparable, and then he like brings up something which is absolutely not comparable to the transgender experience. So yeah, that makes no sense, dude.
Most people probably agree with you. I think we all kind of know why.
Yeah.
The question is, if somebody
No.
wants to be infertile, somebody wants to not have eyes, one decision we respect as.
It's not. Nobody like some people do want like infertility, and like that's people can get like a vasectomy or their tubes tied, and there's reasons why they want that, and that's okay. And like a man that wants to get his fucking tubes tied can go to his GP and get a referral. If I wanted to get anything done down there, I would have to go to my GP, get a referral to the gender clinic, I would need to have a psychologist analysis, I would need a psychiatrist analysis, I would need to get all of these things, I would need an endocrinologist. Like, I have to go to see all of these experts before I can do anything. There is just... It's just not fair. You're talking about something which is completely fine and okay for everyone except for trans people. You're just a transphobe. This is fucking stupid, and she's like not pushing back at all. That's fucking
Well,
dumb.
this is your identity. This is who you really are. You're not a man. You're a woman, right? It's a truth.
Yeah.
Once we accept that as a truth, then yeah, your penis is extraneous. Your testosterone levels are off. All of a sudden, we have a new definition of what is normal for you, and this is an abnormal situation. You have all these like things that men have that you're not supposed to have because you're not a man.
It doesn't. That's beside the point. Honestly, none of this matters. At the end of the day, people should have autonomy over their own bodies. Like, we should have the choice to do with our bodies what we choose. And we shouldn't be put we shouldn't be tortured by our parents. We shouldn't have to see a multitude of fucking experts who each of which any one of these experts could just say no, and then we can't do what we want to do with our own bodies. Right? Like that's what this is. It's okay for them, but yeah, not okay for us. Yeah.
Only through accepting that definition that we.
So like saying that, oh yeah, because it's not supposed to be there. No, that doesn't make sense. That's beside the point. Doesn't matter if it's meant to be there or not. What matters is risk versus harm. Sorry, risk versus reward. You get bottom surgery because it makes you feel better as a person, and it improves the quality of your life overall.
An easy choice, I know. I don't envy you. But whatever you decide, we're with you. Yes, Captain.
It's just bullshit.
Get to these things not being harmful. If you don't accept that definition, if we have somebody who just thinks they're trans, they're not really. They just want to hurt themselves for some reason.
I would not recommend SRS as a solution to a sexual fantasy. I think that that's an example of a very damaging decision to make, because
I mean, who cares about that anyway? Because SRS and autogynephilia have nothing to do with each other. It just has nothing to do with each other. It's beside the point. It shouldn't be spoken about in that way.
The pleasure of sexual fantasy is a very temporary thing. It's the hedonistic treadmill that I mentioned earlier. It's not going to actually provide you true meaning that is lasting in life. And so I think that you're going to damage yourself, and it might feel good for a little bit, but eventually, you know, it's not, and you're going to be left
what are they talking about?
more poor than you were previously. So I think that the logic is the same with both of these cases. If your reasoning is sexual gratification, or even just non-sexual like pleasure.
So we've moved away from transgender people completely now, and now we're talking about like people who want to get their eyes removed because it turns them on.
If it is this hedonistic pleasure, in whether that be sexual or non-sexual, that is probably a bad reason to pursue radical physical alterations.
Yeah.
But I think there are other reasons to pursue transition that aren't hedonistic.
I agree.
Well, yeah, like hedonism is not like the point of being transgender. Has nothing to do with it. It's beside the point. Shouldn't even be brought up in this conversation because it has literally nothing to do with it.
But I think they're not good reasons.
What do you think some of those other reasons might be?
Okay. I think there's a high incidence of suicidal ideation in trans people. I think that transitioning is a way to sort of jettison yourself out of a lot of dynamics and problems in your life. It's like a way, it's like a non-suicide reset button.
Okay.
What?
Where you literally call it your dead name. Like you're literally killing your identity, but you're like, I don't want to die.
Oh shit. It's hailing. We've got hail. Fucking hell. Fucking hail. Holy shit. Like, it's actually hailing outside. We're almost in summer. We're at the end. It's the end of spring, almost summer in Australia, and it's hailing. Wow.
I want to live, but I want to kill myself. So, a transitioning is a way to like do both.
Interesting.
So then it's not surprising. Like if suicidality or wanting to destroy your identity or overturn most of your life is like, it's so obviously you have to be interested in doing that or willing to do that to transition. So then it makes sense to me that you're going to see like a high correlation with suicidality. So hitting the eject button, but having a parachute.
So the suicidality with trans people has to do with a multitude of reasons. A lot of it having to do with the inability to access healthcare, and the non-acceptance of society, and just basically being shat on by every single system on the way to trying to like have bodily autonomy over ourselves and have like, yeah, autonomy over the choices that we make with our bodies and our lives. It has nothing to do with I was not born the way I want to be born, so I'm going to kill myself. No, it is the inability to access healthcare and being treated like shit by most of society. Like, that's what we're talking about here. Not... It's putting the cart before the horse. It's like blaming suicidality on being transgender instead of looking at the systems in society which contribute towards that suicidality. It's a refusal to look at what Mr. Girl is actually talking about now that contributes to suicidality. It is parents torturing their children with conversion therapy that contributes to suicidality. It is not an inherent trait of being transgender.
I would say that's like one reason I see. Another, people feel really bad about their bodies. They feel bad about their gender roles. They've been sent signals that being a woman or being a man is bad in some way, and so they just are not comfortable in their bodies. They want to get out. I think there's a couple new reasons. Now that it's kind of catching socially, there's a lot of hatred, especially among progressives, of cis people, straight white males.
What?
And, you get a party thrown for you if you transition. You go from being a small little nerd.
People are becoming people are becoming transgender for the party. Oh fucking hell! Where's my fucking party? Jeez.
Whatever nobody likes to. It's a for as much as
Oh my
progressives
gosh.
talk about.
Oh fucking hell. Fucking hell. I want a big fat fucking citation on that one. Holy shit. That's so dumb. So dumb.
Trans people being hated, they're quite celebrated in certain
What
circles
the-
as well. And then I think there's a
What the
passive
fuck?
aggressive passing, or
What the
trans
fuck?
people who want to pass hate these trans people. There's trans people who don't want to pass. They want the confrontation. They want to scream, "It's ma'am," in the growliest, deepest voice that they possibly can. That shop teacher. They want ludicrously large, fake boobs. It's like they want to do a belly flop at the barbecue, not even in the pool, just onto the grill. Just have everybody just recoil in horror and then scream and fight. I feel like
What are you talking about? This man is unhinged. Is this a Tim and Eric sketch? Is this a Tim and Eric character? Like seriously, this guy would be fucking great on Tim and Eric. But he's serious about this. He is actually fucking unhinged. What the fuck?
Very interesting interpretations of why people might transition. I think that this is maybe one of the reasons why it is good to include trans people in asking them why they transition, and to try to really, take them seriously and believe them.
I can't take it seriously.
Yeah, I can tell, because
Well, it's not possible.
all of these answers, they're missing like a very important factor. And I think that all of the answers that you've given, whether it be like sexual gratification, prestige, whether it be just wanting to show off.
Every single reason that he's brought up has nothing to do with being transgender.
Are you alright?
Have already been debunked by people smarter than me. This guy is unhinged.
Why, yes, of course.
Fucking hell.
Are you sure you
What the fuck? Anyone who fucking defends this guy, like, can go get fucked, seriously.
And just like attract ire. I think that those are all psychological reasons which might influence how people transition or why they transition. But I think that like there's this other very core thing.
Uber Eats used to say.
What?
So the promotion they've sent me is for doing passenger riding. $3 extra every single ride.
What the
It's like,
fuck?
I'm not even signed up to do that.
What the fuck? Do it.
But they won't send me them. That's the thing.
That's just fucking ridiculous. I wonder if I've gotten any Uber driver things. Sorry, guys. Oh, I got an opportunity. Wait, rides only?
Yeah, that's the same.
What the fuck? I'm calling them.
Yeah, let me know what you say.
Yeah, I'm gonna call them. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry, I need to take a quick break. I need to go to the loo anyway. So,
You're back and just in time. What's wrong? I thought as much. That's
alright. So, don't go anywhere, or do. Either way, we'll be back very shortly with more unhinged fucking transphobic bullshit. It's amazing. And we're back! I should probably change this. Let's move to politics. There we go. Back for the spectacle. Yeah, I'm changing the title as well. There we go. Should probably put that the other way around. Trans Chud versus trans Perv. Mystical is literally the kind of person though who will say, I'm not scared of trans people, because they don't understand how words work.
Which is just that, like, if you are trans and if there is some part of your brain that has the mental illness that we've discussed earlier, your brain is going to torture you for completely arbitrary and completely illogical reasons.
I don't believe that at all.
Well, let me finish. Because I think that what happens is when you're very young and you're trans, you have a sense of what it means to be a man and a woman. And you have
Well, I don't think being trans is a thing.
Yeah, so you don't think there's any like underlying biological reality?
No.
Yeah, so
Absolutely not.
I think that there's
Okay.
one
Well, then that's just your opinion, man.
right, which doesn't have the underlying biological reality as part of your picture.
Wait, if there's an underlying biological reality, then why are
Mhm.
you saying Buck Angel's definition of trans is the best? Buck Angel would say that he has a mental illness.
I think that that's just another part of it. Like that is the why behind why someone is AMAB or AFAB and living as a man. Well, it's because that there's this biology underlying it, which for
Okay.
me, like,
Science is still out on this. Yeah. 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 Just needed to change the title for that to respond to that. Okay, so there is possibly a biological component for being transgender. There is possibly one, but there needs to be more research involved. In fact, there is a fantastic video from Yapotnik recently, which I only bring up now because it makes me think of that. It's talking about nature versus nurture, but as talking about psychology versus biology as if they are two separate things that do not interact with each other is absolutely 100% baby brain cave brain logic. Quite literally, I, as a person with ADHD, have genes in my brain that do not activate, right? And they cause a mental disability, all right? Medication I take affects those genes and activates them. Interesting thing is that your environment and your interactions with the environment around you change change which genes activate and which genes do not. Okay? What that means is that while your chromosomes can and do inform your genetic makeup, it is also interacting with your environment changes what kinds of genes activate and which ones don't. An example of how this works would be HRT, but there are other things that we just don't know enough about, like the way the brain works and interacts, and the way trauma affects what genes work and which genes don't. So trying to come up with a biological realist perspective on transgender reality from a transmedicalist perspective is absolutely ridiculous because it ignores the way. The fuck? Is that dying or no? It's dying. Sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought there. Yeah, transmedicalists just ignore the fact that there are other factors that affect what being transgender is, and it's just not a mental. Being transgender is not a mental disability. It is a description of a state of being. You do not. So being transgender is quite simply and utterly this. You identify as a different gender than the one you were assigned at birth. You do not fit the role you were assigned at birth. You feel more comfortable fitting a different role in society than the one that was assigned to you at birth. I keep saying it over and over because it's important. Give me a second. Boo, I love you.
Seriously. With the bang.
I want to go out and get some more Chinese food. Do you want me to get you any something?
Like some fried rice or
something? You'll be like walking around and doing that.
Just mainly rice.
Mainly
And
rice.
if there's that, the like battered chicken.
The chicken? The honey chicken?
Not the honey chicken. Not with the sauce on it, but like the battered stuff.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, I remember. I know.
Want some balls.
You want some? I don't know. They've got the. Wait, I'll look for balls. I'll get you some balls if I can find them. I'm gonna get my boo some balls. Yeah. Let's continue. Transphobe versus transphobe.
You know, for whatever stupid reason.
But you have no proof of this.
Rando Randy. Oh wait, Rado Randy. Rado Randy. First time chatter. What's pooping? What's poping? What's poping? Catholics. Hey-o. Not much. We're just watching transmedicalist debate an unhinged fucking idiot. It's quite interesting to watch them both like stumble their way around understanding what being transgender is. Your friend is trans. I've got friends that are trans too. It's so cool, right? Sorry, I'm being an idiot.
I would say that, like, the suicides that we talked about earlier is a really good example of
You have no proof that there's a
call him
biological
honey
underlying
chicken.
truth. No one has any
Yeah,
proof
we
of
do
this.
have evidence of this, and like the
We have no
suicides would
proof.
be one.
We have no proof.
I mean,
wait, what? We do have evidence that it is related, that there are biological elements, but like what I just said is that those elements are inexplicably linked to the social reality that we live in. Like ignoring social reality and the way that affects us is just not a way of describing the transgender experience. Like, but like saying that there's a biological component and that the proof of that is suicide rates is kind of like the most interesting take I've ever heard, and I would love to like find out more about where she's getting that
like we have
from.
no smoking gun, like specific thing.
No,
but
we have no
evidence.
actual proof. We don't know. No one can look at your
fair
brain
enough.
and tell you that you're trans.
I know that.
So this is
yes.
just something you. Okay, so
We
this is
can't-
why I'm saying trans people can't be trusted because
friend.
because I think that they just want to believe shit. We already know.
What shit? People just want to believe shit. Okay, buddy. Okay. Like, I don't know. Man, is there a biological component behind why you have the favorite color that you have? Like, seriously. Dragonthorn? Why is that different? Is that a different thing? Dragonthorn. Traits. I don't know what traits it has. Wait, is that a new one? Wait. Oh, no, wait, that's right. It's my other character. Sorry, getting distracted.
We already know trans people want to believe shit about themselves. That's not true. So then when
Like
we start,
what? We all know this. Oh, thank you, Redo. Like, we all know this. We all know this. Fucking what? I love this. I love this fucking logic. We all know these things. We all know these things. I'm sorry, but like, I'm gonna have to give a big fat one of these for that. Give me some citations. Give me some proof, damn it.
Ask them,
Damn.
they were like, okay, so I feel like it's a biological reality. What the fuck does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. You're not a
That's not what I said.
scientist. Well, you think that. No.
Do I need to be a scientist to like talk about? Right. Oh, have fun and stay safe. Let me know if you need anything. Yeah, like what? Like, do I need to be a scientist in order to tell people what the current scientific consensus is around trans people? Like, right now, the consensus is that being transgender is not a mental illness, that you do not have to have dysphoria in order to be transgender, and that Mr. Girl is objectively a fucking idiot.
Oh shit, you think. Of course you want to think.
Many people are saying
We
that.
have evidence that it is biologically rooted. We
Listen,
have
but you don't have proof, but there's no
chicken.
proof.
No, that was my
I'm not
housemate.
exactly sure how you're defining proof and evidence. We have evidence. One of those pieces of evidence
If
would
somebody
be the
took your-
suicide rates.
If
So-
somebody examined your brain, they would not be able to tell that you're trans.
It's a very like simplistic way of under.
I really, really want to hear what she has to say about suicide rates being like an indicator of biological component. Like, I really am fascinated by this because I haven't heard this argument before. I haven't heard it before, so this is really interesting.
Understanding biological reality. There's
Yeah.
lots of like you can't identify lots of things that have biological reality within the brain just by like cutting it open.
Well, some things
but
you
that
can.
doesn't mean that like there isn't a biological reality to it. Some things absolutely, but like yeah,
Well, most.
I mean
would
like
say most mental illness has a big question mark next to it as to the. Like there's no even schizophrenia. It's not like if you have schizophrenia, then your kids are gonna have schizophrenia. That's not true. It's not like if you.
What? Wait, we understand schizophrenia as being a heritable mental illness. Like, that is one of the heritable mental illnesses, along with like we see a like when we see heritable mental illness. Like autism, you're looking at about a 20 to 30%. If like I'm pretty sure it's about 20 to 30% heritability when it comes to like mental illness. So, like schizophrenia definitely runs in families. What is this guy talking about? This guy just thinks that he can say whatever he wants, and everyone's gonna just believe that. What the hell? That's ridiculous.
Don't have it, your kids will have it. We don't know. We don't know what causes it.
my understanding is that a lot of these things.
What? What do you mean we don't know what causes it? It's both it can be a heritable like trait, and it also can be caused by trauma. What are you talking about? This guy knows nothing about the things that he's talking about. What a fucking idiot.
Polygenetic. So like even having one gene does not necessarily
push back on this, for fuck's sake.
You will develop it, but it changes your probability of developing it because it's a mixture of environmental and genetic factors.
A mixture
I
of
would
environmental
guess.
and genetic factors describes pretty
Yes.
much everything. That
What do you-
could all
What do you mean by describes everything? Oh my gosh, this.
also describe. Also, what if being trans is the intense, recurring, obsessive fantasy?
Finish that thought, man.
Of transforming into the opposite sex. What if that is biologically based?
Yeah.
So again, even if there is a correlation between biology and being trans, if my definition of trans is you obsessively want to turn to the opposite sex, that doesn't point to any more biological truth or biological reality.
Well, I mean, like, your definition of being transgender is incorrect. If that's what your definition of being transgender is, you are incorrect. That's not what being transgender. A rawr. I don't know how to do rawrs right. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me give you a fucking row. There we go.
Get in there and find General Mondon. I'll signal
Giving
the
you
others to move.
you're in the wrong body as anything else.
Yeah, so like what the biology is actually impulsively encouraging people to do matters a lot here. And the reason why it matters is because if there's some biological reality, which
No, that's not Matt. This guy is called Mr. Girl. He's the guy who got turned on by cuties. And he's an absolute fucking clown.
makes you
And
feel
not the good kind.
horribly depressed and non-functional if you are
Yeah.
presenting a certain way, then alleviating that through transition is actually like a pro-social behavior that allows
think
you
so.
to. You got to
don't think
engage
so.
with the hypothetical here, right?
No,
Because,
That's not a hypothetical. That's the truth. Wait, what? That's just that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Who is this?
if
hear
it
it,
is
but
true that
that's
this
wrong.
is the case, okay.
No.
If it is true that this is the case, I think that's a very good reason to transition. That is very
It's not.
positive in your life.
But it is
that
the case.
allows
It's
you
not.
to build.
It is the
sources of
case.
meaning, as long as you're
It's
not
not.
like, horribly depressed all the time. And I
Can
think that,
whoa? Can he point to the location in? I'm just reading the messages in here. Can he point to the location in the brain where autism occurs? Yes. Are you serious? Yes, you can. Same with ADHD and bipolar disorder. Like they all originate in like the almost on the spinal cord. I can always fucking forget the name of this part of the brain, but we know that the disorder originates from that area and it spreads out through black brain development in childhood. We don't know we don't know if there's an autism gene, but we know that it is linked to both nature and nurture, and that like some people because it's a heritable trait through families, some people have certain phenotypes, and we don't know why certain genes in the brain activate in some people and why they activate differently in others, why you'll have parents who tend to have autistic traits, whereas but without being like autistic, and then their children will have autism. Like, we don't know that, but we do know the parts of the brain that it originates in. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Neither of these people know what they're talking about. Fuck.
I don't think so.
for trans people, for a lot of trans people.
Asperger's. I don't think they call it Asperger's anymore. Generally, it's just ASD. But, yeah, fuck Dr. Asperger. But, wait, what? Where did it? I have to go into Oldcraft. Okay. Oh, I gotta go that way. Okay. Do I? Or do I have to go this way? Wait, I'm so confused. Talk to healer. What? I'm so confused. General. Sorry. And none of this, but like, yeah, like it is to do with brain development. It comes from the emotional centers of the brain and the way that we process information. And because it comes from a part of the brain which which is highly utilized within brain development over time, that's why things tend to be noticed over time. I'm not autistic. I have ADHD. The parts of my brain that are affected are the same as the parts of the brain that are affected within autism. That's why I know about these things, because I've looked into the neurology of it and what we know neurologically about these things. Like we find things that correlate, and then we study those things until we can find a reason why. Your condition is being Canadian, eh? Yeah. Is that a good one?
If you ask them, that is a significant portion of why they
I know.
transition.
It's the only mental illness where the solution is to
It's not a mental illness. This is not true.
fulfill the fantasy.
Your
It's not a
characterization
fantasy, and it's not a mental illness.
only or primary
You don't like being labeled, so what actually is Asperger's is a part of the brain or more of social? It's both. It's both. It's both. Like we're still learning about it. Like, but like we know that it can be heritable. That in I think I want to say 30% is somewhere between. It's a number between 20 and 40%. I can't remember what the number was. But it's around about that between 20 and 40% of people with autism or on people with ASD, like autism spectrum disorder, which Asperger's comes under. There's a reason why I don't like using the word Asperger's myself, because like it comes from like old Nazi doctors and like fucking conversion therapy and all of that sort of bullshit. Yeah, the person that Asperger's is named after is not a good dude. And did not have good ideas about psychology. But yeah, these things affect development. They affect the emotional and decision-making parts of our brain. So, yeah. Okay. Well then, I'm sorry. I'm happy to use. If you feel more comfortable using that, then I can definitely be okay with that. I'm not going to tell you what you should label yourself with. So I'm sorry if I've made you feel weird about that. But yeah, the way you interact with people changes the way your brain functions and which genes activate. So it is both biological and social. So it's in your brain, and it's also in your nature. It's both nature and nurture. And this is what Mr. Girl can't seem to understand. And I think the trans woman who's talking kind of understands, but she seems to have if she agrees with a transphobe like Buck Angel on this, like that just means that she's self-hating. Why isn't it unintelligent unless no, don't worry, it's like no someone special treatment being looked down upon. Yeah, and that's a problem with society. Unfortunately. No, I get that. I get that a lot. It's just fucking yeah. It's just different. It's just a different thought. There's things you're good at, there's things you're bad at. And you should be lifted up, not looked down upon. We need to change the way society looks at mental disorders. But getting back to mental disorders, though, Mr. Girl saying that being transgender is a mental illness, that is not true. That is simply false. You can you can be transgender and then develop a mental illness called gender dysphoria as a result of your feelings of not being able to reflect the role that you feel comfortable within in society. That's what gender dysphoria is. Actually, yeah. Philosophy Tube's latest video talking about what they think gender dysphoria is probably the best description I've ever heard of what this disorder is, because it's not just trans people that have dysphoria. Otherwise, we wouldn't have plastic surgery. We wouldn't have people going to the gym or feeling like they're less manly than they would like to be, or like more or less. You know, that people wouldn't be looking at each other in this way. And I have no idea where I was going with this character.
Driver. I don't think is necessarily true. And that's
well,
why
I'm being tortured by thoughts about how I'm presenting. I'm being tortured by thoughts that I'm not killing people. I'm being tortured by thoughts that I'm not raping people. I'm being tortured by thoughts that I'm not standing on my head. I'm being every time I eat. I'm tortured by thoughts. I'm tortured.
Is the same as torturing someone.
Yeah, this has nothing to do. Like he's not. These things have nothing to do with each other. We're talking about roles people fit in society. We don't have a role in society for torturing people, unless you're talking about the police force.
No. It's no. You said no. Well, what? It is.
Really?
Yeah.
Transition is the same as raping someone.
Yeah, but yourself.
I see.
It's like I'm hearing an anorexic person say, "No, you don't understand. Every time I eat, I am filled with burning disgust, rage."
Fascists can play Roblox, and nationalism should not be. It is just an unnecessary an unnecessary structure which works the same way that white supremacy does. It's a in-group by exclusion. It is inherently bad.
A compulsion not to eat or a compulsion to, withhold or whatever. And you see me as one way, I see myself as another way. But we would never say to people, okay.
That being said, there are groups like black nationalists and all of that, which use the word in a way which is completely different to my understanding of how the structure works. So there are exceptions to the rule.
Okay, well, if you really feel that strongly about it, and we found some genetic whatever, then go ahead and don't eat.
Anorexia.
Okay, so the fact is, we know that allowing people to transition improves their mental health. We know that when society is more accepting of trans people, it leads to less people committing suicide. We know that these treatments work because of the effects we can record in society. We've studied this and we know the results. So everything else is just his opinion, bro.
If carried to its natural desire, necessarily leads to death or, severe physical degradation. And I don't think hormones are the same thing. Obviously, right?
I know, but I do.
I think that is maybe not very.
I mean, even OCD people. Imagine an OCD person is like, I just have to keep my nails so short that they're just a little bloody.
Mm-hmm.
Or
what has that got to do with being transgender?
People who pull their hair out. We don't just say, okay, well, the solution is to pull all your.
What does pulling your hair out have to do with being transgender?
Your hair out. Nothing. And then wear a wig. We don't say that. We don't say, okay, yeah, just file your nails down to the quick and then wear fingertips. So wear gloves. We typically do not let people.
Yeah, we treat people with the best possible treatment that we know of at the time. Which, in the case of transgender people who have gender dysphoria, or just people in general that would just want to be able to do what the fuck they want with their bodies. Holy shit, can we get off this subject already? Just give people autonomy over their bodies and their choices in life. Fuck, it's not self-harm. Nobody believes that, except for you. It's just your opinion against the opinions of experts in their fields. So you're just a voice on the internet saying spewing transphobic shit. Fucking hell.
Or encourage people. Imagine parties on Twitter for people who pulled all their hair out.
Yeah, so
who cares?
Very
obsessively.
Quickly.
Imagine that. I could imagine that. Who cares? That doesn't happen. Moving on. I tell you what does happen when you let people transition. They don't kill themselves. When you treat people with respect, they don't kill themselves. Fucking problem solved. Dumbass.
Yeah. Because I think there is a good analogy here, and the important analogy is that oftentimes in the way that we talk to trans people and treat them, we encourage their neuroticism. So
what?
If a trans person feels bad because they got misgendered, we tend to talk to that person and remind
being trans
them,
is neuroticism.
We tend to
what?
talk to them
no?
and reinforce that feeling of negative, response. Not only is it terrible that you got misgendered, but that person misgendering you actually puts you at risk at suicide. We would never tell.
What the fuck kind of communities is she hanging around in? What? That doesn't make any sense. That's not fucking true. We encourage neuroticism. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to give a big fat one of these. Holy shit. No facts, no talking about the truths, just talking about what you fucking personally think and feel. There's both of them. both of them are just fucking awful. Like she has no arguments for transgender people. She's just wanting to throw transgender people that she feels icky around under the bus in order to feel better about herself. And Mr. Girl just doesn't have anything except for saying just fucking gross shit. Also, that chat is fucking gross. Holy shit.
An OCD person that, or someone who's like afraid of spiders that, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it reinforces that behavior. So I think that we should do everything in our power not to reinforce that behavior. But at the end of the day, if like an OCD person, you know, if they're just like,
I think that whatever we do to help people in society, we do what the experts recommend. And in the case of transgender people, gender affirming healthcare is the solution. Until you can find a community of experts that disagree and can actually, you know, back that up and change the opinions of society, then you can just go fuck yourself. Holy shit.
yes.
You're not really responding to anything I just said.
You're not saying
I
anything.
think that we should try not to encourage the worst of the neuroticism. But I think that there are certain medical interventions which do seem to be beneficial and not really negative. That I think
Unless you
can
define them as
coexist.
negative and harmful, then they're not.
Yeah, and I think that
Am I single? No, I've got a partner. Yeah. I am generally polyamorous, but I'm in a monogamous relationship right now.
there are maybe good reasons not to adopt definitions that like say that pain is beneficial or vice versa. You know, suffering is good. But I think thank you for that conversation. I'm gonna
You're welcome.
run here.
All right. Good luck.
You've been lovely. You've challenged me very deeply. It's been fun.
I enjoyed talking to you, I think, for some of it.
Fucking hell! Anyone thinks that anyone who thinks that anything Mr. Girl said today was a challenge, holy shit! Maybe you should sit down, honey, and let someone else fucking talk for transgender people. Fuck! If you find that challenging, holy shit, we are doomed. We're fucking doomed.
It's like I like you, but I hated this conversation.
Oh, I'm
It's the
sorry.
best way I can put it.
Interesting.
Why are you
Well,
sorry about that? What a fucking piece of
I
shit.
enjoyed it. I thought it was mostly good. I'll see you around.
All right, see you around.
Good luck.
Far out. What a fucking idiot. So, basically what I got from that was, I'm gonna say transphobic shit and not back up with anything in that, back up any of it. In response, we're just not gonna have any fucking sort of pushback to anything he said, and even, like, agree on some points, that, apparently trans people are contributing to their own neuroses. Fuck off. Fuck off, mate. Oh yeah. You know, gay people from the 80s contributed to their own problems because, you know, like it wasn't the AIDS epidemic which caused them all to die. It was them, you know, just being neurotic about shit. I am Australian. I'm one of the colonizers. Oh, another one. What's it like there? Oh, it's racist as fuck. It's just we don't admit it. Even while we're like telling the most racist fucking jokes and saying racist shit. And won't even accept that you know, we fucking wiped out the native population. Which is, yeah, great, cool. Fucking no, not even any fucking talk of reparations. New Zealanders? Yeah, I'm not sure about New Zealand. I don't know as much about them. I think that New Zealanders are better than Australians, to be honest, from what I understand. Alright, stealing all the shit. They talk bad behind me? Maybe. I don't really care though. I don't get much bad, honestly. I am a very white person. I don't experience a lot of hatred towards me. Like, to the extent where I could quite easily turn into like I could quite easily turn into like a Blair White sort of person because of how little oppression that I've actually seen in my life. But you know, fuck that. Cloudy hindrance. What's cloudy about it? Going to Marcus Junk. I'm just doing some inventory management. Sorry if I sound distracted. I'm just trying to do some stuff. Elemental essence. Ooh, mark for selling. Guildford's mining helmet. Helmet. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Picked up some pretty cool stuff. Ah, yay. It's a ball peen hammer. Ah, it's a treasure. Mark for selling. Everything goes into the selling box, and I continue. Alright, let's go. There's supposed to be a... Oh, you're hiding the book in there. Oh, Twitter is a hellscape. Oh, what was that? Where is it? Why doesn't it ever tell me what the date was? Whether I've seen it before. 5 days, yeah. Ugh. Now, what was this? I got half an hour. Oh, hey, this is Coke Francis. You mentioned them. There's a new kind of cringe. Psychic fails.
I would like to make a half-assed apology. A while back, I made a video about that stupid show Breaking the Magician's Code and how stupid it was, and I will never apologize for roasting it. In fact, I don't think I went far enough. I should have been meaner, but hey, I'm just an awesome guy. But just to be clear, I wasn't taking a swipe at all magicians. Most of them are pretty cool, I guess. One thing I do really respect about magicians is that nearly all of them are open skeptics. They know that what they do is just the art of illusion. They don't pretend to have special powers or anything. Penn and Teller are one of the most famous magic duos in history, and they literally had a show on Showtime debunking myths, from people who claim to have supernatural powers to the virtues of abstinence to the fact that it is bullshit that cheerleading still isn't considered a sport. Even when
Penn and Teller debunking transgender myths. When?
Angel pretends to be Jesus, he doesn't claim it's anything supernatural. And today, I'll be talking about one of the most outspoken skeptic magicians who effortlessly humiliated a bunch of so-called psychics on live TV.
Oh, yeah.
People who actually claim to have psychic abilities.
I know exactly who she's talking about. I just can never remember his name.
In high school who
guy was
reached
awesome.
out on Facebook asking you to join her pyramid scheme.
Anthony put what he called a gypsy curse on me and said, "You're going to die."
Greetings, my good
Oh wait, it's a
bitches.
different
My
one.
name's Francis, Coke Francis. I'm a filmmaker, stand-up comedian, drag artist, and I'm here because I'm sensing you know someone with an A in their name, and they're very important to you. I know someone with an A
Oh
in
my
their
gosh,
name. He's my
I
newest
do.
friend. Please, everyone, give a warm welcome to Plantony. As far as my own beliefs in the paranormal and supernatural, I tend to believe that there's a logical explanation for almost anything. However, there is a lot of unexplained shit out there, so it can't hurt to keep an open mind. And I have no problem with people who do believe in it. I myself am an atheist, but I have no problem with religion or spiritual people as long as they aren't using it to hurt others. I don't know if you know this,
But they always inevitably use it to hurt others, and that's not because they're bad people, it's because that's what they're encouraged to do within society. Exploiting people and their money is what we are taught to do from a very young age under capitalism. It's just the inevitable result.
Be Christian.
Like that's basically, if you draw it back, you look at basically all religions and the history of religion, and you realize, oh shit, it's the capitalist institutions around religion which has fucked up people. It's just, yeah.
And not be a complete monster. Basically, if you're a person of faith or you believe in ghosts or whatever and you're watching this, please know that I do not judge you for it. Unless you're a complete douchebag, and it's not like I've never met a bunch of douchebag atheists. Still, when people turn to a higher power in times of need, there will always be predators ready to take advantage of them. Televangelists are the biggest example within the Christian community, but the ones who can and will prey on anyone are psychics. Now then, I haven't ruled out the possibility of mediums existing, but if they do, they definitely aren't the ones raking in a fortune from vulnerable people and multiple TV shows. Sometimes it's hard to tell if these people actually believe they're psychics, or worse, know that they aren't and lie about it. Regardless, the amount of confidence and audacity to do so has to be staggering. And TV mediums have existed for decades. There's John Edward, recipient for the Biggest Douche in the Universe Award, Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium and original Karen prototype, Tyler Henry, the world's nicest courtroom molestation.
Holy shit, that guy looks like a like a twinkier version of fuck, I can't remember his name. Who's the guy who was gay and then not gay anymore, and then he hated gamers, and then he loved gamers, and then Steve Bannon gave him a job basically, and like all of that shit. Fuck. Milo Yanananovich. That looks like a twinkier version of Milo. Holy shit.
Doll, and so many more. As you can imagine, these psychics fuck up literally all the time. Like, if you fucked up this badly at any other job, you would be fired immediately. And today, we're gonna watch and cringe together as buddies at these psychics who are exposed as the cons that they
Bill Cosby.
really are. But before we get into laughing at other people's expense, let's talk about the man who gifted us this kind of content. The amazing James Randi.
James Randi!
As simply the Amazing Randy, began his career as a magician.
He was awesome.
And later co-founded the Committee for Skeptical Inquiry. He dedicated the latter part of his life to investigating paranormal, supernatural, and occult claims, and was the co-founder of the James Randi Educational Foundation. He was a frequent guest on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, who, believe it or not, was also a magician and a skeptic. One of Randy's most famous TV debunkings was on an episode of The Tonight Show, and Carson worked with him behind the scenes to expose this so-called psychic who was a featured guest, and we will be viewing that clip in just a few moments. Before Randy's retirement, he decided to get one last jab at these assholes. The JREF sponsored the $1 million Paranormal Challenge, which offered a prize of $1 million to any applicant who could demonstrate evidence of their abilities. Thousands applied, and not a single one succeeded. Unfortunately, Mr. Randi passed away in 2020 at the age of 92, but his incredible legacy will live on, hopefully outside of some drag queen's YouTube channel. Who knows? Maybe his spirit is here with us right now, in this room. Nah, it's just me. Only me. I'm alone. We're all alone. Only about half the clips I see today feature James Randi, but I felt like talking about him anyway. I think we need more skeptical dudes like him to challenge these bullshit artists. All of these videos are thanks to a channel called Chodmunch, or is it Chodmunch? I kinda hope it's Chodmunch. And they post compilations of all sorts of liars and idiots getting exposed on camera, and they are immensely satisfying to watch. So, if you enjoy this video, please be sure to give a big old dick slap to their like and subscribe buttons as well. I've put a link to their channel and their Patreon in the description below. So without further ado, let's watch a curation of my favorite psychic fails. So we'll start out with the clip I mentioned earlier where renowned psychic Uri Geller gets publicly owned in front of Johnny Carson. This is probably the most famous and publicized.
See, like my favorite one was the James Randi. Fucking yes, Randy. My favorite one was the church fiasco where he basically intercepted all of these radio signals where the pastor and his wife are talking to each other, and the wife is reading the prayer requests, and he was like basically doing hot readings of all the people that put in prayer requests, pretending that he was like given these visions from God. Like, what a fucking ghoul. Did you know that that pastor in particular that was exposed has since moved on to the black community to scam them now? Yeah. What they tend to do is move on to another community and scam them, similar to how Andrew Tate has moved from like lonely men to trying to scam the Muslim community, which hopefully he fails, but who knows? Who knows what that guy's doing? He fell off.
Expose that James Randi did, and apparently he had it out for Geller for a minute.
Johnny had been a magician himself and was skeptical. I was asked to help prevent.
Oh yeah. That one was fucking hilarious.
Did some drawings which have been sealed in an envelope, and I'd like you to take your own pace when you feel like you want to try anything.
Right.
Do you want to try that particular experiment first?
When I'll feel for it. He is really suspicious, you know.
Yes.
I'm having a hard time with you. You know, I'm surprised because before this program, your producer came and he read me at least 40 questions you're going to ask me.
Well, I can ask you all kinds of questions if you'd like me to ask you questions.
I have to have time, and
I think this
more to
one
come.
speaks for itself. Unfortunately, Geller still had a career after this, but this is already so much more entertaining than breaking the fucking magician's code.
What is it, Derek? You alright?
Mary loves Dick.
God, when he made the final decision to mate with a young Middle Eastern woman. What's funny is that there's nothing actually stopping me from doing the exact same thing, like if I want to skirt a question or cancel plans or something. So here's a trying to move inanimate objects live on TV one. I'm pretty sure this guy already knew he was gonna be humiliated, so he came prepared by dressing as a samurai clown.
James turned the page of a telephone directory without touching it.
Now what I have here is particles of a white plastic, which when given a good puff will, I think, rather conclusively show whether or not blowing is a method accomplished. Now it will not, perhaps, in some way differentiate between genuine psychic power and actual blowing.
I can't help but empathize with these people to a degree. Like, when you're put in this...
Fucking imagine you were sitting there and you're just like, oh, fuck. He fucked me up. I can't do this now because it will be like... Fucking got him. That's amazing.
situation, you have no other choice but to double down on your claim. Like when I doubled down on deciding that, you know what, Zack Snyder can fucking get it. He's got that sleeves-arms ratio that makes you go, hey, maybe 300 wasn't that bad of a movie after all. This next one is played, you guessed it, or maybe
don't be going after the fucking 300. The Chuds will fucking destroy you.
Didn't. Recipient of the
fucking
biggest
Roma
douche in the
boos,
universe
seriously.
award, John Edward.
You met Tony before, though, right? Earlier that day? Yeah.
They not only have met, but Tony told John Edward a critical piece of information during the shoot.
But were you aware that his dad had died before you did this reading? I think earlier in the day he had said something. It makes me feel like, you know, that's fairly significant.
I can't believe the expressions on these guys' faces haven't been turned into a meme yet.
A whole lot of thinking you got me doing then.
Me putting blood, sweat, and tears into making these dumb videos for your enjoyment.
During your reading, Maureen Flynn tried these names, and they are on the tape of the reading that you're referring to. Alan, Alfred, Alice, Anne, Bill, Charlie, Colin, Connie, David, Derek, Eileen, Ellen, Flory, Frank, Fred, George, Jim, Joe, John, Karen, Catherine, Kevin, Lillian, Lisa, Liz, Lynn, Mark, Mary, May, Michael, Rob, Ron, Shirley, Sydney, Stanley, Sid, and Steve.
Interesting, isn't it? That the only names anyone calls out are the most basic white people names ever conceived. Well,
until they start scamming the BIPOC community, which they inevitably end up doing.
Will there ever be a Tyrone calling
Oh,
out?
hello.
A Muhammad? A Sunhee? Hell, I have yet to even hear a Francis.
I want more than anything else my song, because I sang it for my dad a week before he passed on. I want to know, is there any future
Inshallah.
for it? Am I ever going to get anywhere with it, to have it recorded by anybody where it's going to be played on the radio?
Not until he learns a certain lesson. He has to own up to some of the
Oh, this
things
lady!
he's done.
Oh, I don't understand.
Please, ma'am. My husband passed a few years ago. I have to know. Is he doing okay?
If you or someone you know has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Mesothelioma is
If anyone in my audience is having financial difficulties, just know that if you work hard, you will end up something significant is going to happen within the next few days, which makes you think differently about your situation.
a rare cancer caused by...
So this next one involves the $1 million paranormal challenge I mentioned earlier, and it features this human jewel pod as a contestant.
My name is Jesse Bravo, and I'm a stockbroker by day. But by night, I'm a psychic and I speak to dead people. I'm considered very good at what I do, and boy, am I bombing. Yep, you believe that this is a dead person? I'm hoping so.
Who knew comedians and psychics had so much in common? We're both overpaid bullshitters who provide people with a temporary and false sense of happiness. During several of Randy's exposés, there were...
Or you can just go to like a recent Dave Chappelle comedy special and just be sad.
a few instances where psychics would use these little gadgets to do what they do. I guess they thought maybe it would provide more tangible proof of their abilities, or just so that they could go, it's not how I feel, it's how the science feels.
What I want to try to prove is that thoughts can be transmitted from one person to another, and it's detected by this machine.
How can we tell when you are receiving Norma's thoughts?
It'll be evident because the dial will show a rise, and also there will be a rise in the sound.
Is that an Australian scam artist?
Visual interaction between Ron and Norma, and in order to avoid such an accusation, we're going to seat Ron facing in the opposite direction. Well, under these conditions, there doesn't seem to be a correlation that I can see. Nevertheless, the box is very interesting. Norman, would you allow electrical engineer to take a look inside that box?
Most certainly not.
Well, that's a pity. I'm sure our audience would like to know what's going on in there. However, I would like to thank all three of you.
I actually almost feel sorry for this guy. One thing I love about James is that he never tries to rub it in people's faces when they fail and never takes the piss out of them. He remains respectful because that person is already humiliated enough to begin with. Rest in power, you fierce bitch.
I lost my boyfriend tragically a few years ago. They never found him. And I've had such a hard time since.
The reason why you didn't find him is because he's in water. And to find him in water, it's like the girl is missing in Aruba.
It was September 11th. There was no... He was a fireman.
Well, no. See, I keep seeing him in water. Is there any way he could have drowned in water some way?
Sylvia Brown is the
fucking
closest
9/11,
we'll
you
ever get to
bitch!
Baba from Spirited
Holy
Away,
fuck!
And that's a problem. I gotta say though, check that assertion. This woman's husband died on 9/11. Except, no he didn't, because Sylvia said so. I actually really hate this one. I'm evil as
Holy
fuck,
shit.
and even I have more compassion for this poor woman. This next one is with Lisa Guerrero, who should be crowned Empress of all modern journalists. You might recognize her from that interview with renowned demon Kenneth Copeland.
Again, getting back to the comment, you said that you don't like to fly commercial because you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. Do you really believe that human beings
Oh,
are
fucking this guy.
I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Queen.
Whoa, fucking hell. That is the most evil fucking shit. Look
Well,
at
I
that
do not.
face.
And
Like seriously, hold on, let me see this, let me see if I can find this, to me, he looks like this, where is it? Where is it? Let me see him. There we go. There it is. This is what I see on this picture right here. Seriously. Seriously. He looks like a fucking zombie from he looks like a demon possessed zombie from Ash vs Evil Dead. Hold on. Like he looks like zombies from like Ash vs Evil Dead. Oh, here we go. This one's perfect. Right? That's pretty damn close, you gotta admit. He's an actual fucking demon. He's an actual fucking demon.
Don't you ever say I did.
Queen. Believe it or not, this next interview is even more savage.
Lori, I'm going to show you something.
Okay.
Does this girl look familiar to you?
Yeah, she does. I worked this case.
This is a girl who you said was beaten and killed.
Okay.
This little girl is me, and you told somebody that she.
Oh, damn! Oh!
You didn't disappear?
Oh!
Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
How do you explain?
Whoa! Oh yeah, that's fucking interesting, isn't it? Holy shit! What a fucking evil bitch! Screw Kenneth Copeland, this woman is a fucking devil! Damn!
I can't explain it.
You're charging them hundreds of dollars.
You know what, dear?
You're taking advantage of desperate people with a bunch of hocus pocus, aren't you?
Interesting how none of these people could predict failing so miserably on all their TV appearances. Here's James Randi exposing a guy who looks like a Florida history textbook's interpretation of a Middle Eastern person. His thing is
That honestly looks to me like a lib trying to get into Kwanzaa.
astrology, which is one of the few pseudosciences that isn't shamed even though it should be. Astrology is bullshit, and your sign means nothing. That being said, I am a Capricorn with a Scorpio rising. Apparently that explains a lot.
I'm certainly not enjoying the limelight now. Well, you may say, why did I come up? Well, curiosity, you know, but
I had never before noticed that Hugh Laurie looks like if Steve-O grew up as a British aristocrat.
I got the lowest possible degree at the university I went to.
Ah, but you did go to university.
Oh, that's right.
Well, that's a start.
Oh, that's
One for me.
I mean, it's super cringe that he's getting this excited over getting one thing correct, but this has the same energy as an open mic set that only gets one laugh in 5 minutes. And I can relate. This next one is kinda long, so TLDR, a guy wrote a fake history of a chocolate factory and invited some psychics over to it to do a reading, and everything they say is exactly what he wrote on the fake website.
George, did the horses hurt your legs? Yes or no?
Oh fucking hell, what the fuck?
Absolutely, that all came from a story that I made up.
Oh, did it?
With the help of a parapsychologist. And we put that
You
up
put
on,
it, yeah, I know.
on the website.
Congratulations.
And did you read that website?
No.
So how did you know all these facts?
A friend of a friend.
I'll be honest, I chose the name Bull for a reason.
Because it's shit. Yeah, I know. I'm psychic.
Yeah.
Basically retold the whole story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you tried to fuck me. That's why you fucked me. Oh shit!
Before I
Fucking
came here
hell.
that I was going to be tested, and I said, fine, then we'll test one another.
So does that mean that you cheated?
I did.
You know you're in deep shit when the guy in a
So she cheated because. Oh, whoa, that's clever. She cheated because she knew in advance.
top hat and Tate mustache is more legitimate than you are. I've saved my favorite for last, and while it doesn't feature
Oh
the
yeah,
amazing
shit, I should
Randy,
change my
we do
fucking
get a visit
thing.
from a
Sorry,
familiar
y'all.
face who has finally redeemed himself in the Coke Francis extended universe.
Raven. I just think it's comical, quite frankly. I have 2 envelopes here. I will give you $1 million of my personal money right now if either one of you can tell me specific details of what's... Now, don't tell me about the energy or that it's not the right time,
man, I'll
but
tell
just
you
tell
what
me
I will
what's in
tell
here
you.
right
I'll
now.
find you an-
Tell me right now what's in
I
the
find
envelope.
you an ideological bigot. That's what I
Tell me what's in the envelope
You
right now.
claim.
Tell me what's
you
in the
claim
envelope.
That
Tell me
you
what's in the envelope.
do
Don't-
not-
I died from blood lost. being that cause I shoved a cactus up my ass. Whew, whew, whew. Oh no, love, she died in 9/11. Fuck.
Tell me what's in the envelope. Tell me what's in the envelope. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Tell me what's in the envelope. Right here. Guys. Listen to me.
God, I
That's
love
fucking American.
confrontation. Chris Angel, you a real one. You're still really easy to make fun of, and your fake accent is still hilarious, but you a real one. Welcome to the CFEU, you stellar skeptical bastard. Hello. These all made me cringe out of my own skin, and yet they're oddly satisfying. Did I learn anything from this journey? No, but I hope I'm able to squash any beefs I have with magicians right now with this video. And look, if psychics have truly helped you in your time of need, who am I to deny that? Religion does the same with plenty of folks. I would never go after the people who turn to psychics or religion. My intention is to roast con artists for taking advantage of vulnerable people. Vulnerable does not equal weak. So if you're someone who has been helped by a psychic, please take my jokes with a grain of salt. I'm a YouTuber cosplaying as a video game spoiler, not a guiding light. In fact, I like to think that there are people with these abilities out there, because if there are, they definitely aren't going to talk about it. Could you imagine having one of the shittiest powers you could possibly end up with and being harassed and exploited for it the rest of your life? These TV psychics are the
So, like, being a Twitch streamer with ADHD?
equivalent of superheroes who reveal their identity for attention. Rest in power, James Randi. And now for the winning comment from the last video. Catkiss says, 17% on 17% on Rotten Tomatoes is pretty good. Why is this so funny? 17% on Rotten Tomatoes is pretty good. You are absolutely correct. And Jared Leto is still the greatest method actor of all time. The MCU should have centered on Morbius this entire time.
I really don't care what people say about his fucking acting ability. At the end of the day, the guy is a fucking cult leader, like, allegedly pedophile rapist, allegedly, in Minecraft. You didn't hear this from me. I do not care how good his acting is. There are millions of people out there who are just as good at acting, who just didn't have the opportunities that Jared Leto had. Don't stop allowing him to, like, fucking prey on kids, please.
You too can be featured in the next video. Leave a comment below and I will pick my favorite one and give you a shout out next time. Also, if you happen to be present, I will be at DragCon in LA on Friday, May 13th. So if you'd like to make your day as lucky as mine, come say hello. I will be dressed like this, and that's a promise. This is my first YouTube compilation reaction video type thing, so if you enjoyed this, please go to your nearest psychic and request a palm reading. When the psychic asks you to hold out your palm, ask them if they know how to read any other body parts instead. Then unzip your pants and dick slap those like and subscribe buttons as hard as you can. Thank you again to Chod Munch or Chode Munch. Thank you for supplying me
in Minecraft, y'all. In Minecraft, I disavow.
And as always, until next time.
Fuck. It's not letting me use the thick frickin' thing. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button, that's why. I'm literally pressing the wrong buttons. Holy shit. And it is 12:01, which means we are out of time for this week. I shall catch y'all on Sunday night when I'm back. Yeah, that was a good link. You always give the best links. So yeah. Next week I might have a debate lined up with Phenomics over, like, market socialism, I think he called it. So maybe I misheard him the first time. I thought he said market communism, and that made me laugh my head off. Yeah, versus, I guess, anarcho-communism. So hopefully I'll have the time to do some research for that. And yeah. So until then, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, and take care of someone else. And I'll see you all the next time. Bye bye. Lucy, love you. Mwah.